Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the law of attraction combined with the law of manifestation. And so we've talked a lot about the law of attraction. This is video number 7A. Remember, there's an A video and a B video for each one of these videos. And so if you haven't, please go back and watch the earlier videos so you can get caught up. So we've talked a lot about the law of attraction. And we haven't talked a lot about the law of manifestation. And I did that for a reason. It's because a lot of people are so focused on the law of attraction that they either are unaware or not even bothering to look into the law of manifestation. And you have to have both. It is possible for somebody, if they are aligned internally, emotionally, and psychologically, if you give them the law of attraction, they will immediately have fantastic results with it. But that's only if either they are very conscious of all three of the minds and how they work, but most of the time it's just people who, the luck of the draw, the way that they've grown up, the society that they've lived in, the family that they've had, they've already been aligned, and they don't have to think about it. All three of their minds work together for them. And by the way, in order to really understand what I'm going to be talking about, I recommend that you go and watch the big law of attraction video that I made just a little while ago. The 20-minute long video where I really get into the three minds and I break down how the three minds work. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So the law of attraction and the law of manifestation, they work together. And ideally, they work seamlessly without even thinking about it. But if you are somebody who needs to practice the law of attraction, it means that there is some disconnect. There is some blockage. There is some conflict among your three minds. And that's okay. I'm not judging it. I know, because I'm also one of those people. The reason why I teach this is because I've worked so hard at resolving internal conflict and blocks, and that has taught me so much about how these three minds work and how the law of attraction and the law of manifestation work together. So let's do a quick review. What is the law of attraction as it is being taught? The law of attraction says that the universe functions on vibration, and how you vibrate is what is going to attract what is going to attract in your life. So if you have positive feelings, you will attract positive experiences. If you have negative feelings, you will attract negative experiences. And so the law of attraction is very passive. And that is why it is so attractive, because the assumption is I don't have to do anything. I just have to focus on what I'm vibrating at, which is really another way of saying how I'm feeling. And people get thoughts and feelings mixed up. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the assumption. Remember, if you follow my teachings, everything is based on assumption, no matter what it is. You live your life based on assumptions, unconscious assumptions. You're not thinking about it. When I get in my car, I don't even have to remind myself that I have to drive on the right side of the road. I don't have to, I just don't, it's just automatic. It's because I've been programmed to do that. This is really something I found out recently when I went on vacation to Australia a few months back. I really had to consciously tell myself to drive on the left side of the road. Every time I got in my car, if I didn't, I can't tell you, there was more than a few times where I just got in my car and started driving on the right side of the road, and then cars coming right at me. And, oh, crap, I had to move. So we all function this way. We all have assumptions that we operate on, and if you have an incorrect assumption, you're going to make incorrect conclusions. And people can do this. They can just continuously make incorrect conclusions and actions in their life, and they're trying to figure out what the problem is. Well, it's because your base assumption is incorrect. Just like if I go to Australia or New Zealand or the UK, and I have the assumption that everybody should be driving on the right side of the road, I'm the one driving on the wrong side of the road and everybody else is pissed off, and I'm thinking, what's wrong with all you people? I'm the one that's doing something wrong here. And this is how people live their life. They have an incorrect assumption, and they either aren't aware of what an assumption is, that they've made one, or they're unwilling to let go of their assumptions. And so they think the whole world is wrong and the whole world is out to get them, and the whole world is saying, hey, no, man, you're the one you're off base here. So if you make an incorrect assumption about the law of attraction, you're going to continuously find yourself not accomplishing anything, not attracting anything. So one of the mistaken assumptions of the law of attraction is that thoughts and feelings are something that you have complete conscious control over. Because think about it. You're being told, if you follow the teachers of the law of attraction, you're constantly being told that you must put thoughts into your subconscious mind. You must consciously create these wonderful feelings. If you're wanting to imagine having a new house, then you have to imagine the house, and on top of that, you're told you have to have very happy feelings. That the happy feelings is what's going to bring the house to you. And so these are things that you're consciously imposing on your subconscious mind, right? This is what you're being taught all the time. And there's a lot of talk about thoughts, you know, the thoughts that you put into your subconscious mind. The assumption there is that you have control over them. Now, I agree that if you're constantly filled with negative thoughts and feelings, there is a much better chance you are going to manifest unpleasant circumstances. I'm in full agreement with that. What I am disputing, just talking about the law of attraction, what I'm disputing is that you have 100% conscious control over that. And that is an assumption that can get you into real trouble. Because the truth of the matter is that we have very limited control over what we think and what we feel. And thoughts and feelings aren't the same thing. And thoughts are not something that you consciously construct. Sometimes you can choose to let me think about this. You can choose to think about something. But 99% of the time, everything is on autopilot. All of the thoughts that pop into your head and all of the feelings that pop into your head, these are all coming from somewhere else. You don't have control over them. And so thoughts come from unconscious programs. So here's where the law of attraction, again, runs into problems. Again, I talked about this on an earlier video. I went into great detail about the three minds. The law of attraction assumes that you only have two minds, the conscious and the subconscious. And most people don't even know what the subconscious mind is. They think there's just this mind up here, and then there's this mind underneath it. This is the subconscious, this is the conscious. But you have three minds. You have the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious. The unconscious is the 99% of your mind that has all of your beliefs, all of your programming, and a lot of these beliefs and programs are completely opposite to the conscious ones that you're trying to adopt. So the law of attraction says, sit on the edge of your bed, give yourself positive affirmations, wake up in the morning, look at your vision board, and see your beautiful house, and think, I love being in my beautiful mansion, and your mansion will come to you. So if you're spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the morning doing that, you are putting that into your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is transmitting that. It is projecting that onto the film screen, which is your external life. That is all happening. Your feelings, if you get positive feelings about it, that is getting projected onto the film screen of your external life. But then you've got to get on with your day. Then you got to go into the shower, and then you got to go do this, and then you go to work, and you go to the kids, and the blah, blah, blah. You're not going to be spending 100% of your time thinking about that. So what happens the rest of the day? The rest of the day, thoughts will pop into your mind. Feelings will pop into your mind. Thoughts are things that come from your unconscious programming. When you're a little kid, you are programmed to function and to believe certain things. You believe in Santa Claus, you believe in Jesus, you believe in whatever it is. You are taught energetically from your parents, I'm a good person, I'm a bad person, you're lazy, blah, money is good, money is bad. All that kind of stuff is put into you. All these values are put into you on the unconscious level. And these tapes are playing all the time. Now, it's the unconscious, which means you're not aware of it. You are completely unaware on a conscious level. Because if you are, then it's no longer in the unconscious mind. Now it's in the subconscious or the conscious mind. Because you are aware of things in your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind acts like a file cabinet. And it has all the information that you need in order to get through life. But if you were constantly thinking about all of these facts and details, you wouldn't be able to get anything done. So it stores it just below the conscious awareness. But you have access. You can go, oh, what is my social security number? What is my address? What is my birthday? What is my wife's birthday? These things are all available to you in your subconscious mind, and you have access to that whenever you want it. Your unconscious mind is different. Your unconscious mind is locked. There's a padlock and security. I mean, you can't get in there. You can't decide, I want to see what's in my unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is not available to you. However, the unconscious mind does control, creates everything in your life, and it will dictate your actions, always. So the goal isn't to get rid of the unconscious mind. I get asked this a lot. How do I get rid of the unconscious mind? How do I defeat the unconscious mind? You will never defeat the unconscious mind. You will never get rid of it. You don't want to get rid of it. You want to hack into it and reprogram it. And we're going to be talking about how to do that later on in this number 7 series. I'm going to talk about that in 7b. How do you hack into it and overcome it? What you really want to do is you want to get it to work with you. If you have inaccurate assumptions or assumptions that don't serve you in your unconscious mind, what you want is you want to get those aligned with what is helpful for you. And then your conscious mind, your subconscious, and your unconscious mind can work together. And when all three minds are working together, things happen instantly. So, let's go further into what the law of attraction is missing here, and the assumption. Remember, the assumption of the law of attraction is you only have two minds, your conscious and your subconscious. As long as you're filling your subconscious mind with whatever it is you want to create, then it'll go out and attract it in your life. But you don't have conscious control over most of your thoughts. You know, again, the idea is, well, if you just focus on positive thoughts, positive things will happen. Choose to think about what it is that you want. Choose to think about your perfect relationship. Choose to think about your house. And if you just keep doing that, it'll happen for you. But how many of you listening to me have done that? How many of you, I mean, like myself, you know, how many people how many hours of the day do you spend thinking about wanting your perfect relationship? Does that mean it's come to you yet? Doesn't necessarily mean because you're focused on that it's going to manifest. And that has, as we said, has to do with the unconscious mind. So what happens if the assumption is that as long as you control your thoughts, you can control what you think, you can control what happens. But you can't control your thoughts. You're told if you have negative thoughts, negative things will happen to you. So we want to not have negative thoughts. But the assumption is that you have control over them, and you don't have control over the majority of the thoughts that come up into your mind. What happens if some tragedy strikes? What happens if your spouse dies? May that never happen to you. I've had that happen. So I can tell you that I had no control over the thoughts that were coming into my mind. The thoughts of how horrible it is that she's gone, how sad I am, how, all of the fears and everything, and fear of death and all kinds of just horrible thoughts, just really unpleasant, painful thoughts. And if I followed the assumption of the law of attraction, then at this point in my life, I would be, life would be far worse than it is. And my life is great. I went through a really difficult period where my thoughts were constantly on death and pain and loneliness and regret and all the things that come with losing somebody very close to you. So that proved to me that, the law of attraction right there, the assumption is wrong that you have control over what you're thinking about all the time. You don't. You have very little control over what you're thinking. What about feelings? Same thing. They're told, keep your feelings positive, always stay positive, have positive feelings, create positive, happy feelings all the time, associate those happy feelings with whatever it is that you want. The assumption is that you have control over what you feel. But you don't. You have marginal control over sometimes what you indulge in your feelings. Like when my spouse passed away, I was consumed with horrible thoughts all the time. Just painful, sad, horrible feelings all the time. And there were times when I would have to say, okay, I got to stop focusing on this. I got work to do. And I would put it out of my mind. But the truth of the matter is that those thoughts and those feelings were continuously being manufactured in my unconscious mind. And as soon as I was, not doing a video or something, as soon as I stopped doing that, then I was overwhelmed with this backlog of horrible thoughts and feelings and sadness and pain. So if you're walking around and you're somebody that is, you've got fears all the time. You're afraid of financial insecurity. That keeps popping up in your mind. How am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to be alone for the rest of my life? How am I going to get sick? These things pop into your mind. Yes, you have some control over how much you want to indulge in that, but the truth of the matter is you probably have very little control over that. And then we end up in denial, where people go into denial, and they think that they're being spiritual. I don't go into those lower places. I don't vibrate on that lower level. I don't want to go there. I always stay positive. And these are the people that put a smile on their face and they act happy and nice and they keep doing this, and then at some point they just explode. You've ever been around these people? They put on a happy face, 60, 70, 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time they're just exploding on you. And you are causing them all kinds of problems, and then I don't want to go there, and then they these are people who are in denial. And all that's happening is that you're consciously trying to suppress these thoughts and these feelings that are coming up from your unconscious mind. So the point is that the law of attraction has it backwards. Yes, the law of attraction is real. Yes, it is true that what you vibrate at is going to create scenarios and attract things into your life. But it assumes that that's all that you have to do. So now we bring in the law of manifestation. Law of attraction and the law of manifestation they work together, but they're two different laws. Now, with somebody whose three minds, their conscious, their subconscious, and their unconscious, when their three minds are aligned, then all you need is the law of attraction. When your three minds are aligned, all you need to do is think about, what is it that I want? I think I want that. And it will manifest. I know because I've experienced it. But the law of attraction is passive. The law of manifestation is active. The law of manifestation will overcome the law of attraction every single time. So even if we take the assumption, which I think is incomplete, that what you think and what you feel is what you attract in your life. Again, if that were true, we would all be dead and billionaires. We'd be dead billionaires. because most people spend much of their time thinking about how much money they're going to make, and they worry about dying and getting sick. You'd be a dead billionaire murderer, because there's everybody listening to me has thought ill on somebody else. You've gotten angry, even if you were a little kid. There's your boyfriend breaks up with you. There's at least one moment when I could kill him. So if everything you thought and felt was instantly manifested in your life, then you would be a dead billionaire murderer. If you're watching this, you're alive. If you're watching this, you're probably not a billionaire because you want to attract more money in your life. If you're watching this, you're probably not a murderer unless you're watching from prison, right? So that's not entirely accurate, and it's very passive. Now, as I said, the law of attraction works when all three minds are aligned, but when all three minds are not aligned, that's when you go to the law of manifestation. The law of manifestation is very active, and the law of manifestation says you create. You physically go and create your reality. And the law of manifestation will overcome the law of attraction every single time. The universe, here's what the law of manifestation says. The law of manifestation says that the universe responds to your actions first, not your feelings. When you are aligned, your thoughts and your feelings will automatically create corresponding actions. This is why if somebody's minds are all three of them are aligned, all you have to do is introduce to them the law of attraction, and they go, oh, and they focus on what they want, and it manifests seemingly magically in their life. But what you don't realize is that they are unconsciously taking action. Now, the law of manifestation is an extremely valuable tool for those of us whose all of our three minds are not aligned, and we can't simply sit on the edge of our bed and magically manifest our perfect life just by thinking about it or feeling about it. Because if, like when I was going through the death of my spouse, when that was happening, I had no control over the thoughts and the feelings that went on in my head. The only control I had, and that was minimal, was the actions that I took. And the actions that I took brought me to where I am now. My life has continued to get better, even with the flood of horrible thoughts and feelings that I had for a long period of time. So if you're one of those people and you're depressed all the time, you're sad all the time, we definitely need to find ways to work through that. But that in and of itself will not, first of all, it will not create horrible things in your life. And second of all, it won't prevent you from creating positive things in your life. Because the universe, according to the law of manifestation, the universe responds to action first. Feelings second. If your actions and your feelings are aligned, so much the better. Home run for you. A lot easier, a lot less work. But I can tell you from personal experience that there is a law that I'm going to talk about in the next video. It is a technique that you can use that will absolutely trump the law of attraction every time, and it will force the universe to respond to you. We'll be talking about it in the next one. So, bottom line here is this. The law of attraction is passive. And that's why it's so popular. Because people like me, you've probably busted your tail trying to make things happen. You've gone out there and you've tried to get the perfect job, get the perfect business. You've tried to get money into your life. You've tried to get health and happiness, and you just seem, no matter what you do, you're just smashed down. You feel like you're just a failure and you can't accomplish anything. And so somebody comes along and says, oh, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything. Just think and feel. As long as you think and feel positive, positive things will happen to you. Except the assumption is that you have control over what you think and you feel, and you don't. You have very little control. The unconscious mind will trump any conscious thoughts and feelings, and will send out vibrations 24 hours a day, whether you're aware of it or not. The good news is that the law of manifestation will overcome the negative vibrations that are sent out by your conscious and unconscious mind. And that I think that we should switch them around. We should have the law of manifestation first. Once we get that underway, then we use the law of attraction to boost the law of manifestation. That, to me, is how I think it ought to be done. So we're going to be talking about the method that in the law of manifestation that always, every single time, overcomes the law of attraction, because the universe responds to the law of manifestation every time, regardless of what you're feeling. Okay, so we'll talk about that in the B video next. Remember, by the way, there is an A video and a B video. The A videos are seen on the free YouTube channel. If you are wanting to get to the meat of this, which are in the B videos, those are found on the Manifestation Mastery Course website, which is thunderwizard.com. So all you do is you go to thunderwizard.com and look for, on the right side of the page, you're going to see Manifestation Mastery Course. Click on that, sign up for that, because that's where the real meat is. And I do this because, you know, I want to teach this to people. But in my experience, people have got to be really serious about it. And so I put a little bit of a hoop for you to jump through for your benefit, because if you jump through that hoop, I know you're going to practice it. And that's what my goal is, to help you. And my goal is to teach people, and sometimes in order to teach people, you have to make sure that they're serious. So if you're serious about this, then I recommend that you go to thunderwizard.com, look on the right side of the page, and click on Manifestation Mastery Course and sign up for that. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be, every week, I'm going to be uploading new videos to the Manifestation Mastery Course. And coming very soon, from the time of this video taping here, we are going to be having live question and answers where you can ask me directly any question that you want, and I will go into depth explaining it. But I'm only going to be doing that in the Manifestation Mastery Course on the thunderwizard.com website. So only for people who are serious. So there's going to be a group of people, and you're available to talk to me. And this is going to be happening very soon in the next few weeks. So that's it for now. Go and watch the Manifestation Mastery Course video 7B on the thunderwizard.com website.